You have something important to say. An idea you know matters. You wait for just the right moment in the meeting, at dinner, among friends. You summon your courage. You speak up, and nothing. It feels like you've thrown a stone into a vast, empty canyon. There's no echo. Your words just hang in the air, unnoticed. Before dissolving into the chatter, you see the flicker of impatience in someone's eyes, the subtle turn of a shoulder as someone else starts talking, louder and faster. You tried to make an impact, but you still feel invisible. Have you ever felt that sting? That feeling of being overlooked, of having your ideas dismissed before they're even really heard? It's a deeply frustrating experience that can leave you questioning your own value, your own voice. You start to wonder, what am I doing wrong? Do I need to be more aggressive, more theatrical? Do I have to shout just to be heard? But what if the secret to leaving a lasting impression isn't about speaking louder? What if it's about mastering the power of quiet confidence? What if the key to being heard isn't in the volume of your voice, but in the weight of your presence? An ancient Stoic sage knew this well. He taught that a memorable presence comes not from what you say, but from the unshakable calm you project. Real respect, the kind that lasts, isn't demanded, it's earned. In this video, we'll explore 6 Stoic secrets to communicating in a way that makes people not just listen, but feel the weight of your presence, turning your silence into your greatest strength. The story of the sage. Picture the Roman Forum 2,000 years ago. It's a storm of noise and ambition. Merchants are shouting prices. Politicians are debating with wild gestures, and orators are competing to see who can give the most bombastic speech, each one trying to drown out the last. They believe that whoever is loudest is the one who leads. Into this chaos walks a senator, a man known not for his grand speeches, but for his profound stillness. Let's call him Cassius. He doesn't rush into the fight. He doesn't raise his voice. Instead, he finds a spot by a marble column and simply observes. His posture is upright but relaxed. His gaze is steady. His breathing is even. He isn't trying to absorb the chaos, and he isn't fighting it. He is simply present, a calm island in a sea of noise. At first, nobody pays him any attention, but slowly, something shifts. The other senators, worn out from their verbal battles, start to notice him. They see a man who isn't a slave to his emotions, a man who doesn't need to shout to prove his worth. His silence isn't empty. It's full. It's full of thought, observation, and self-control. It creates a kind of gravity that begins to pull the room's attention right to him. One by one, the shouting fades. The frantic energy dies down. A younger, ambitious senator, who had been trying to win a debate with sheer volume, finally runs out of steam and turns to Cassius, exasperated. "Well, Cassius, have you got nothing to say? Does our city's fate not concern you?" Cassius meets his gaze, holding it for just a beat longer than is comfortable. The silence stretches, and in that space, everyone leans in. When he finally speaks, his voice isn't loud, but it's clear and steady. He says only 3 sentences, but these sentences aren't filled with fluff or anger. They are distilled wisdom, the product of careful listening and deep thought. They cut through all the noise and land with the force of an undeniable truth. The forum goes quiet. No one argues. No one interrupts. They don't just hear his words. They feel them. Cassius didn't win by overpowering his opponents. He won by mastering himself. His impression was made long before he ever opened his mouth. This is the power we're talking about today. It's not a theatrical trick. It's the outward sign of a disciplined inner world. The Stoics knew that true influence isn't about performance. It's about presence. It's about building an inner citadel of calm so strong that it commands respect without you saying a single word. So, how do we build this citadel? How do we become like Cassius? It all starts with the first foundational principle. Section 1. Principle 1. Master the citadel of your mind. Before you can command the attention of a room, you have to command yourself. The Stoics believed our inner world, the world of our thoughts, judgments, and reactions, is the only thing truly under our control. Everything else, like what people think of you, whether they listen, or the outcome of a meeting, is external and, ultimately, out of your hands. Real power, then, doesn't come from controlling others, but from mastering your own emotional responses. Think about the last time you felt disrespected or ignored. What was your immediate internal reaction? Did your heart start pounding? Did your mind race with defensive arguments? Did you feel a surge of anger or a wave of insecurity? Most of us are slaves to these impulses. We react emotionally, and when we do, we hand our power over to the person or situation that provoked us. The Stoic approach is to create a space between the trigger, the interruption, the dismissive look, and your response. That space is your citadel. It's where you use your reason. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, arguably the most powerful man in the world at the time, wrote to himself constantly, reminding himself not to be swayed by outside events. He would say, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." To build this citadel is to practice emotional mastery. When you feel that surge of emotion, don't suppress it, but don't act on it either. Acknowledge it like a passing cloud. Tell yourself, "There is anger," or "There is a feeling of being slighted." By observing the emotion without becoming it, you stop it from hijacking your behavior. You remain the calm center of the storm. This inner calm is something people can feel. People who aren't easily shaken, who don't get flustered or defensive under pressure, radiate a kind of strength. They're seen as grounded, reliable, and in control. Their presence is reassuring because it shows they are led by reason, not by the chaos of the moment. So before you worry about what you're going to say, focus on how you are being. Master your inner world, and your outer presence will begin to command the respect you're looking for, often without you needing to say a word. Section 2. Principle 2. Wield silence as your shield and sword. In our noisy world, we're taught to think of silence as an awkward vacuum that has to be filled. We see it as a sign of weakness, or a sign that you have nothing to add. We rush to fill the gaps in conversation with filler words, like, "you know," or we blurt out half-formed thoughts just to avoid the discomfort of a pause. The Stoics saw it differently. For them, silence wasn't an absence. It was a presence. It was a tool as powerful as any word that could be used with strategic precision. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This isn't just a cute proverb, it's a deep strategy for communication. When you allow for silence, you're doing several powerful things at once. First, you're creating space for other people to show you who they are. People who are uncomfortable with silence will rush to fill it, often revealing their true intentions, their anxieties, and their priorities. While they're talking, you're learning, you're gathering information, watching the dynamics, and forming a more thoughtful, impactful response. You're not just reacting, you're processing. Second, strategic silence makes what you do say more powerful. When someone talks constantly, their words become cheap. They're just a stream of noise, and the listener's brain starts to tune them out. But when someone is habitually quiet and speaks only with intention, their words land with incredible weight. A deliberate pause before you speak signals that you've considered your words. It tells the listener, what I'm about to say matters. It's worth waiting for. This builds anticipation and frames your contribution as important before you even say a word. Think of it as a kind of nonverbal punctuation. A pause can emphasize a point more effectively than raising your voice. It can diffuse a tense situation by refusing to add more fuel to the fire. You can even use it to handle disrespect. When someone interrupts you, instead of fighting back, you can simply stop, stay silent, and hold your gaze. That silent response is often far more powerful than any verbal comeback, as it puts a spotlight on their rude behavior and lets social pressure do the work for you. Your challenge is to start getting comfortable with silence. The next time you're in a conversation, fight the urge to immediately respond. Take a breath. Let the other person's words settle. Listen not just to what is said, but to what is not said. Wield your silence like a shield to protect your inner peace, and like a sword to make sure that when you finally strike with your words, it's with maximum impact. If you're finding this advice helpful, consider subscribing for more wisdom on building a life of strength and purpose. Your journey to mastery is a daily practice, and we're here to guide you along the way. Section 3. Principle 3. Let your posture proclaim your power. Long before your voice is ever heard, your body has already spoken volumes. Stoicism is a philosophy you live in your body. It's not just about what you think, but how you carry yourself through the world. Quiet confidence is projected physically, long before it's expressed verbally. People who feel overlooked often adopt the physical language of insignificance. They slouch, make themselves smaller, avoid eye contact, and fidget nervously. Their body is apologizing for taking up space. A Stoic, on the other hand, understands that their body is a reflection of their mind. To project quiet confidence, you have to inhabit your space with a calm, grounded authority. This doesn't mean puffing out your chest like an arrogant gorilla. Arrogance is a sign of insecurity, a desperate cry for validation. True confidence is relaxed, steady, and unapologetic. It starts with your posture. Stand and sit with a straight back, not rigid, but aligned. Imagine a string gently pulling the crown of your head toward the sky. This simple shift does more than just make you look more confident. It actually makes you feel more confident. When you take up your rightful space, you send a signal to your own brain and to everyone else that you belong there. Next, slow down your movements. People who lack confidence often move with a quick, jerky energy, as if they're trying to rush through interactions to avoid being noticed. A confident person moves with intention and deliberation. Walk at a measured pace. When you reach for a glass of water, do it slowly. When you gesture, make your movements purposeful, not frantic. This economy of motion shows a sense of ease and control. It signals that you aren't rushed or flustered by the world around you. Your calm becomes contagious. Finally, master your gaze. Avoid letting your eyes dart around the room, which signals anxiety and a lack of focus. Instead, practice holding a soft but steady gaze. When someone is speaking to you, give them your full attention with your eyes. This says, "I see you, and I am fully present with you." When you speak, make eye contact with different people in the group. holding it for a complete sentence or thought. This creates a direct connection and makes people feel included in your message. Your body language is the frame for your words. If the frame is weak, the message gets lost. But if the frame is strong, centered, and still, it tells everyone that the picture inside your thoughts, your ideas, is worthy of their full attention. As Epictetus taught, you must first embody confidence, and then you can expect respect. Section 4. Principle 4. Achieve congruence. The alignment of inner and outer self. The most powerful communicators have a quality that's almost impossible to fake: congruence. Congruence is when your inner values and your outward actions are perfectly aligned. It's when what you say, how you say it, and who you are all tell the exact same story. People are instinctively drawn to this quality because it radiates authenticity and trust. Have you ever met someone who says all the right things, but something about them just feels off? They talk about integrity, but you sense a hidden agenda. They talk about confidence, but their body language screams insecurity. That lack of congruence creates a disconnect that makes people wary. They might not be able to explain why, but they won't fully trust or respect that person. Lasting impressions are built on authenticity. A Stoic strives to be a whole person, someone whose life doesn't need an explanation because their actions speak for themselves. This means getting crystal clear on your core principles. What do you stand for? Justice, wisdom, courage, self-control. These were the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism. Once you know your values, the goal is to live them so consistently that they become your reputation. If you value honesty, you speak the truth, even when it's hard. If you value discipline, you live a disciplined life, not just talk about one. If you value respect, you treat everyone with respect, no matter their status. This consistency builds a powerful, unspoken reputation. People learn what to expect from you. They know you're not putting on a show. You're simply being you. This is the bedrock of quiet confidence. It's a self-assurance that comes from knowing who you are and living in alignment with that knowledge. You no longer need other people's approval because you approve of yourself. This congruence frees you from the exhausting work of trying to manage how other people see you. You stop asking, "What do they want me to be?" and start acting from the question, "Who am I?" When you speak from this place of deep alignment, your words carry an authority that can't be faked. You aren't just sharing an opinion, you're sharing a piece of your integrated self. People feel this. They may not know the word congruence, but they recognize integrity when they see it. They're drawn to the person whose presence is steady because their character is steady. This is a much deeper way to leave an impression than any clever communication tactic. Before you try to impress people with your words, first work to become a person whose very existence is impressive. Live in such a way that your character speaks for you. Section 5. Principle 5. Speak with weight, not volume. After you've mastered your inner state, your silence, your posture, and your character, there will come a time when you must speak. The Stoic approach to speech is the final piece of the puzzle, and it's guided by one main principle: clarity and brevity. When you do choose to break your silence, your words must have weight. Most people speak to fill space, to get permission, or to win approval. They ramble, they over-explain, and they water down their message with fluff. They speak just to be heard, but a Stoic speaks to be understood. Seneca advised that our speech should be like our lives, composed and without excess. Use only as many words as you need to make your point, and no more. To speak with weight, first, you have to have something to say. This sounds obvious, but it's a step most people skip. Because you've been practicing the art of silent observation, you'll have a deeper well of insight to draw from. You'll have listened to all sides and figured out the core of the issue. Your contribution won't be a knee-jerk reaction, but a considered judgment. As one counselor noted, starting with, "I've thought a lot about this," instantly adds weight because it signals that you've been intentional. Second, state your point clearly and directly. Avoid weak, apologetic language that undermines your message. Phrases like, "I just think maybe," or "this might be a silly idea," but signal a lack of confidence in your own thoughts. Instead, speak with calm conviction. A simple, "I see it differently," delivered calmly after listening intently, is far more powerful than a loud, emotional argument. It shows you aren't swayed by pressure, but by reason. Third, let your statement stand on its own. After you've made your point, resist the urge to keep talking, to over-justify it, or to check if everyone agrees with you. Deliver your thought, and then fall silent again. Let the weight of your words settle in the room. That confident silence implies that your point is strong enough to stand on its own, without you needing to constantly prop it up. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about respecting your own time and everyone else's. By being clear and concise, you show that you value substance over noise. In a world drowning in information, the person who can deliver a powerful message in the fewest words is the one who will be remembered. They're the one whose words leave a lasting impression, because every single one was chosen with purpose. Section 6. Principle 6. Let virtue be your reputation. Ultimately, the most lasting impression you can leave has very little to do with a single conversation or meeting. It's the sum total of your character, shown through consistent action over time. The Stoics understood that a person's reputation isn't built on what they say, but on what they do. Your actions are the loudest words you will ever speak. Warren Buffett once said, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it." Quietly confident people get this on a deep level. They aren't focused on short-term wins or dazzling people in the moment. They're playing the long game, the game of building a character so virtuous and reliable that their presence alone commands respect. This means living the virtues in your daily life. It's showing up when you say you will. It's taking responsibility when things go wrong, using phrases like, "I'll handle it," to show grounded assurance. It's admitting when you don't know something, which shows true self-assurance, not a fragile ego. It's treating people with fairness, even when no one is watching. It's holding on to your courage and integrity when you're under pressure. This approach transforms your goal from making an impression to being a person of substance. The first is an external game of seeking approval. The second is an internal practice of self-mastery. When you focus on being a person of integrity, the respect of others becomes a natural byproduct, not the main goal. You stop chasing it. Think of the people you respect most in your own life. Is it because they're the loudest or the wittiest? Or is it because you've seen them, time and time again, act with integrity, kindness, and strength? Their impression wasn't made in a flash of brilliance. It was etched into your mind through 1,000 small acts of character. This is the ultimate secret of Stoic communication. It's not a technique. It's a way of being. It's the understanding that the calm you project, the silence you wield, the posture you hold, and the words you choose are all just reflections of the person you have built yourself to be. When your inner world is ordered, virtuous, and strong, your outer presence will leave an impression that no amount of loud words ever could. It will be an impression of quiet, unshakable confidence. Conclusion. Today, we've walked the path of the Stoic sage. We've learned that a lasting impression isn't about the volume of your voice, but the depth of your character. It's built not by demanding attention, but by commanding respect through quiet, unwavering confidence. We've explored 6 principles: mastering your inner citadel to stay calm under pressure, wielding silence as a tool for observation and power, letting your posture proclaim your strength, achieving congruence between your values and your actions, speaking with weight and brevity, and finally, letting your virtuous actions build your reputation over time. These aren't tricks to impress people. They are transformations that shape you into someone whose very existence commands respect. The journey begins not in a crowded room, but in the quiet moments of self-reflection. It's about choosing reason over reaction, stillness over noise, and integrity over performance. So here is my challenge for you. For the next week, choose just one of these principles to focus on. Maybe you'll practice strategic silence in your next conversation, letting others speak first while you truly listen. Or maybe you'll focus on your posture, walking and sitting with a deliberate, unapologetic presence. Which principle will you choose? Let us know in the comments below. Share your chosen practice and join a community of people committed to building lives of quiet strength. And if this message resonated with you, subscribe and turn on notifications for more timeless wisdom on the art of living. Remember, you don't need to shout to be heard. You just need to become the kind of person whose silence has weight.